Wedding photographers, have you ever wondered what you're supposed to be doing with your wedding clients from booking all the way to delivery? Or are you just curious about what other people do? Well, today I'm literally breaking that down for you. Exactly what our workflow looks like from when a wedding client books with us all the way until we deliver their photos. And you can literally steal it. Take it from me. I'm going to show you a ton of resources. I'm going to show you exactly what we do. So let's jump right into this. Okay, first, they book and we do our onboarding workflow. So I actually have a video that's breaking this down a little bit more specifically. I'm going to pop it right up there for you so that you can click on that, see that in depth. But what our onboarding workflow includes is we countersign their contract. We update all of our tracking spreadsheets. So like for the wedding year, our inquiry tracking spreadsheet, our master address tracker. We send them a gift through White Spruce Market. This is a custom gift company. They do custom gifts for all of our wedding clients that I'm showing you here. They're absolutely phenomenal. Be sure to check them out. Let them know that we sent you over there. We also follow them on all of their social channels. We love to be friends with them on Facebook. We love to follow them on Instagram so that we can stay updated on their lives. We send them a preferred vendor page. So this lists all of our vendors that we love to work with. This is also an abbreviated version inside their wedding guide that we're going to mail them through their gift. But in that guide, we can't update it regularly. So maybe we list a planner that, hey, we've had some good experiences with, and then we work with again, and we find someone else that we love so much more. They are fabulous. They are great. That first planner is in a wedding guide that maybe for 2 years, and then they don't get married until 2 years later. We wanted something that we could update regularly. And so we have a web page that I'm showing you now. That web page is easily able to be updated. And in addition, we can provide a lot more information. So we provide some descriptions about look for this when you're hiring a florist, or evaluate this when you're figuring out a videographer that you want. But then in addition, we can click on that preferred vendor and we provide photos of their work. Often it's photos of their work that we've shot side by side with them. We provide descriptions, we provide direct links. It's a phenomenal way to be able to support our wedding clients more. So then we send them what we call a timeline starter questionnaire. So in that questionnaire, we send it over Honeybook. Honeybook is our client management system that I'll reference a couple times throughout here. If you want to know more about Honeybook, I've also got a video on that for you right up here. So we send them a timeline starter questionnaire. It has what I'm scrolling through right now, maybe about 7 questions that are just some basics about, hey, do you want this in your wedding day? Hey, do you want that? Yes, no, yes, no. They answer them quickly. And then we have a custom spreadsheet that has all kinds of formulas in it that helps us draft up their timeline for them. We love to jump on this right from the get-go. And so if they have a full wedding planner, we don't do this. In that case, we reach out to this planner if we haven't worked with them before to let them know, hey, we generally like to take this amount of time. We generally like to go out this time in relation to sunset for sunset photos, those kind of things. But if it's a planner we've worked with before, we just let them do their thing. They know what we need. But in most cases, whether they have a day of coordinator, a month of coordinator, or no coordinator at all, we like to, right from the get-go, right after booking, draft up this timeline for them. It then acts as a draft as they go through all of their planning. So as they book their hair and makeup team, they know what generally what time they need to be done at. They know how long they need a DJ for. All of those things are not big question marks for them. Additionally, of course, it sets us up for a really successful day. It sets us up for the right amount of hourly coverage. It sets us up for the right lighting for sunset photos. All of those things. Their ceremony, or they're not being served dinner when we need to be going out for sunset photos. So it sets us up in a really great way. If they have a month of or day of coordinator, we then forward that along to them as their coverage begins that month out or maybe 2 weeks out. And then they're able to take kind of this bare bones timeline and they can fill it in with more specifics on like when the florist is delivering flowers and things like that. So next step is scheduling their engagement session. We love to schedule this super far out, both for them and for us. We don't want them to reach out and say, hey, can you get us in this month? Because the reality is we probably can't, and we don't want to disappoint them. So we love to schedule out as far as possible. To get rid of the back and forth communication about locations, we created a location page that I'm showing you now that we call our favorite locations. It has a mix of city, a mix of nature. They're able to click on the locations. They're able to just scroll through and see and find something that works for them, that fits them, that makes sense for them. Not only does that get rid rid of that back and forth communication, but it also really sets expectations about, hey, these places are great. We know they have great lighting. We know we can deliver there. And while we're flexible, and if they have somewhere else they want to explore, we're game. We can make it work. We just know that these are the go-tos. It also, in that back and forth communication that typically happens, you're sending a gallery of this, you're sending a gallery of that, and that could really shape how they feel about the location. Versus in this case, we're able to share like 8 different sessions within this little scroll here that they can really see what the location is like. We then confirm their engagement session. So we send a big details email that has all kinds of specifics about their location, the start time, and meeting directions, specifically where to park, if they need to pay for parking, kind of getting rid of all those question marks for them, and then exactly where to meet us. But in that, we also reference a lot of things that are in their wedding guide that we then sent with that booking gift from White Spruce Market. So just things that we're referencing about, make sure that you're on time, build in time for traffic, make sure that you have your outfits hung so they're not getting wrinkly, just some specifics. And we reference the guide like, hey, if you haven't checked this out yet, here are some things you should check out, so that they can go back to it. I think when you get a big, huge guide, and our guide is 86 pages, they flip through right at the beginning because they're excited. They're excited about wedding planning. And then they might not have their engagement session for 6 months. They've forgotten everything in there. It's buried on some coffee table with 10 magazines above it. And so in that email, we just want to reference back to it. And we try to do that a couple times throughout the process to allow them to remind themselves like, oh, hey, maybe I should go take a look at it. Then after the engagement session, we deliver sneak peeks and we tell them that they're going to get about 12 images and that it'll be 3 days after their engagement session. That is our under promise over deliver. We then deliver in 2 days and we deliver about 15 to 20. We don't want to give them too many because we also say that we're going to give them 100 images from their engagement session. We typically do about 120. And if we're giving 40 previews or something, then the rest of their gallery isn't going to feel as impressive. So just a small amount. We deliver sneak peeks through pic-time. We absolutely love it. That's what I'm showing you right now. And then we deliver their full gallery. We tell them it's going to come in 2 weeks. And we typically deliver about a week and a half. So we're able to under promise over deliver. Then we do a casual check-in, which is about midway in their planning process with us. So typically, let's say the year is 2025. In 2024, we book most of our clients for 2025. And in Minnesota, wedding season is very cyclical. It's very seasonal. So it typically ranges from May to October. And that's where 90 to 95% of our clients are going to fall, which means that we typically book them in spring of the year before, winter of the year before. They do their engagement session in summer of the year of the before, fall in the year before. And typically there's a great downtime that happens between November through March, where we don't have a lot of weddings happening. During that time, I take time to check in with each of our clients. So just be a friendly face. We send them an email typically after the holidays. So it's a February timeframe, just saying, hey, how's planning going? How are you guys' holidays? Do you need any help with any final pieces, vendors? How's the timeline looking? We want to be a resource for them and just be a friendly face. And so in 75% of those cases, they say, great, but thank you so much for reaching out. We so appreciate it. You just want to be known that you're there for them in case they do have a question. And then in 25% of those cases, they'll really want someone to lean on. They'll want a shoulder to be able to lean on. They need support in something. They're having trouble finding a last minute vendor for something. They decide they want to add videography, something like that, where you can be an amazing resource for them and just stay front of mind. In addition, because we do follow them on socials, we try to stay front of mind as much as possible. We try to support them in their entire wedding planning journey and just pop in with a comment on their Insta post or comment on their Insta story when they go and buy their dress. All these little ways that you can just stay front of mind. So then 6 weeks out, we send a final questionnaire. They know that we don't require a final meeting. We reiterate it multiple times. And instead, we have this final questionnaire that I'm scrolling through now. It has so many pieces to it. It's big, it's hefty, and we make sure to prime them of that. We don't want them getting this 6 weeks before and being like, holy crap, I have to fill this all out. And so we send it 6 weeks before because that seems to be the sweet spot of they know the answers to all of these things, but they're not in the heat of 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before of holy crap, the DJ is demanding my time and doing a week of confirmation. Holy crap, I need to finish my seating chart. All of these things. So 6 weeks before kind of stays out of that. Typically we send it 6 weeks. They reply maybe at 5 weeks because it's big. It takes some time. We ask any questions and we're out of their hair for that final month. From there, we then prep their family shot list. So on the questionnaire, they choose what they want for their family photos. We prep it to be in the most efficient order possible, where one person adds in, then another person adds in, and then two people remove. If you want to know more about this and how we approach family portraits on the wedding day, I've got a huge video on that literally breaks down everything, linked up above for you. So we prep that family shot list. Then we prep their same day slideshow covers. So we have covers that just at the beginning that I'm showing you right here say that it's this wedding and then congrats. They're kind of just like a bookmarks on the same day slideshow so that our couples know when it's over. We also prep their blog post. So I like to prep as much as possible because we have a quick turnaround for that blog post. Typically we shoot a wedding on a Saturday and then we always have the blog post go live on a Tuesday. So even if it's a Friday or a Sunday wedding, it goes live on a Tuesday. So I prep as much as possible. A lot of the SEO elements about their venue. I prep all of the vendors. So we take their vendors from their questionnaire and we look them up. We hyperlink to them. We find their email addresses, which can be very time consuming. And we also prep an email to send out to the vendors. When the blog post goes live, we proactively send it out to the vendors every single Tuesday. Vendors do not have to reach out to us to get images. We share full galleries with them. We see no harm in that. We see it as a great building experience for our business. And so we also prep that at this time. Then we have a week of confirmation, and the week of confirmation just has like 3 quick reminders. It reminds them that during formal portrait time, no one else can be taking photos. It's at this point, they've heard that multiple times from their consult, from email communication, in the wedding guide. It's just a quick reminder. It's really friendly. It's really high vibes. We remind them about being seated for dinner, and then we just remind them about where we'll be and what time we'll be there. We don't want any lack of communication there, anywhere where they're thinking, oh, I thought they were arriving 15 minutes earlier, and then we don't show up and they're panicked on their wedding day. So that's all. The week of confirmation doesn't even require a reply from them. It's just to be front of mind. Hey, we've got you. We'll be there. Then on the wedding day, and at about 90% of our weddings where we can make it happen with the timeline, we do a same day slideshow. So what that looks like is we start on our camera in downtimes. Sometimes that'll be pre-ceremony. Sometimes that'll be during cocktail hour once we've already gotten candidates, already done reception details. We start on our camera and we'll typically have like about 60 images starred. We just import those into Lightroom. What typically ends up happening is that I will photograph dance floor, open dance floor time, and Cam will sneak away and we'll import those. We find that we don't really need 2 lead shooters photographing open dance floor time. Sometimes this can also happen during cocktail hour, and he will then narrow that down to maybe 20 to 30 images, and then he will edit those quickly. They will get put on our iPad where we use those same day slideshow covers, and then we will present that during open dance floor time to our couple. Sometimes it's after a sparkler exit, sometimes it's right after sunset photos. Really depends on their timeline. It's a complete surprise to them. They have no idea that's coming. And then what we typically do is either we'll airdrop those photos to their phone, to their maid of honor, or I'll text them an iCloud link. It's casual, just so they have those the next day. It's fun because it's not just photos of the couple. It's really photos of everything. So it's some bridesmaid, it's a family photo, it's their first kiss, it's their first dance. It's a really great vibe. And yeah, so that's a surprise. And then what will then happen is the Tuesday after, like I mentioned, they get their blog post. And so what that is for us is that we go through and we cull the entire wedding. We then narrow down to the blog post, typically that like 115 to 150 range of the images we want to showcase on the blog, a lot of fun details that we're pairing, really what we want to put out to the world. We're obviously prioritizing getting them a great preview, but with the size of that, we can also prioritize what do we want to live on our website forever? What other types of clients do we want to attract? And so we then put out their blog post, and then we guarantee our images in 2 weeks. So we have a very fast turnaround for both their engagement session and their wedding. We're trying to deliver their wedding in a week and a half. The goal is actually, we use pic-time, and in pic-time, there's an app that's called Rolling Publish. And what happens is you set an automation, and pic-time is just fabulous, you guys. As I talk about this, I just get excited. But you set an app that automatically publishes their previews at the time that you desire. So for us, Tuesday at noon. And then you set the gallery to release at a certain time. Our goal is that when we're coming through and doing the blog, we actually edit the wedding as well, so that the entire thing can be edited, loaded up there, queued, ready to go for them, so that they're getting an early delivery kind of at that week and a half range, so that it just feels absolutely amazing. Under promising, over delivering. Whew, you guys, that was a lot. I'm a little sweaty, but I want you to steal this. I want you to use this. We perfected this over 6 years of shooting weddings, and we feel really great about the way that our clients react, how we're serving them, and how it feels like a flawless system to us. So if you have questions, drop them down below. I know there were a lot of references to other things that I've got linked in the description for you, a lot of different videos that you can go from off of here. Until next time, bye.